Fantasy Mania. The beginning. Chapter 31. It was incredibly difficult to climb. But Apollus reached the top, pulled himself over and fell onto his back. He lay there for a while and knew he had to find his horse. Soon he got up and began his way throughout the forest and started looking for something to eat. He eventually found some berries and other suitable things to consume. It had begun to get dark, and while he kept walking, he could see a man standing in front of a fire. It seemed like the man was cooking something. But to make things worse, Apollus noticed a familiar horse tied up to a tree where the man was. He knew he wasn't going to allow this and needed to take caution. He then remembered he had a knife tucked away on the side of his pants and slowly pulled it out. Then crept up on the man and jabbed it into his neck. The man then fell to the ground dead. Apollus went to his horse and carefully analyzed it. He then took a seat in front of the fire and ate whatever was cooking. It seemed like everything he needed was all in one spot. He then gathered everything he needed and got on his horse and took off. He knew his revenge on the kingdom was now on a whole new level. But had to start all over again. It would be a while before he made the attempt. After resting after the return home, the king was preparing for another day. But all of a sudden, the queen was having unusual pains. Soon the king was notified and had helped her to the bathing room along with a few female servants. A wet cloth was placed over her forehead, while others tried to put her in the most comfortable position possible. The queen began to breathe heavily. At the same time, the king began to pray for comfort and that her health would be in the best way. She then grabbed her husband's hand and began to scream. It was heard from down the hallway. Finally, Nostrus and Talon had arrived at his new home. He was surprised as to how high it was. Soon Nostrus helped unload everything and welcomed him in. To be continued.